This is the grid that the Bombers call home.
You're throwing the tee in the ground. If your hand's not shaking, there's something wrong.
I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. I'm in my element. Flow is like water. I'm forced to the fire. I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth. Following God and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center. Word to Spike Lee. I'm in my element. Yeah. I'm in my element. Yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Yeah. I'm in my element. Yeah. I'm in my element.
And we are back here in Portland, Connecticut, watching some of the best athletes in the world. We've had 2 groups of round robins so far, about to embark on our 3rd round. What has been exciting to see today?
Well, it's ball speed, height on the golf ball. It's a carry grid, and the fastest guys are advancing very easily. And we got a good group up right now. Scotty Perman, Galladay, Bryce Verplank, Brandon Flynn. Verplank ended up taking it down last tournament out in Canada.
Yeah,
and,
beautiful storyline there where he got knocked out. Unfortunately, someone got injured, so he got back into the event and wound up advancing all the way through and winning the tournament. We saw earlier today a little bit of drama with Sam Judah.
Yeah,
hit on a
Sam
playoff.
was funny. I mean, like I said, that was the worst he's probably hit his entire long drive career, but he's fast enough to where he was able to fight through it, battle the demons. As he said, he has the long drive shanks, which it's hard to shank a driver, but I know he's not having the best of days, but you know what? When you're that talented and you still make it through, then that's when you know that, whatever. Tomorrow's another day. He needs to reset. There's a couple things that I know that he's going to work on, going into tomorrow. But, the 24 hours of rest and hit that reset button, he'll be all right. But Justin James looked good.
Without a doubt, as always.
Costello, Seb Twiddell, the guys that you expect to be there are there. And Colton Casto, it was just – the best guys are here. The only guy that's missing right now is Kyle Berkshire. And Berkshire's out. Ended up taking off this event, and it opens up the door due to injury, which opens up the door for Martin. As we've said, the first couple of groups, if he does win or take a second place, he will be the world #1.
Without a doubt. So this group here has a ghost player, which means it's really important when there's a ghost. If you're in that group for one of the sets, everyone will have a set with a ghost player to just hit the ball in the grid.
Yeah.
You automatically will take some points there. Who are you looking forward to seeing in this group?
Well, Scotty Perman hits the ball really high. He ended up taking Kyle's spot, so he was the only one when they found out that Kyle withdrew. Scotty Perman was in a different group and now moves into this group. So, because they didn't want to have 2 ghost players. There was going to be a ghost player since Kyle is world #1.
Yeah.
They had 64 guys enter the tournament. They had to put a ghost player in, so they're going to put it in where the #1 seed's at. So Scotty Perman takes Kyle's spot in this bracket, so there's not 2 ghost spots, because if you have 2 ghosts in a round of 14, or with 14 hitters, that's not good. Yep.
Makes it a little off. I'm excited in this. Brandon Flynn, obviously Bryce Verplank took the win last time. We talk about Jacob Galladay a lot. He's going to be very consistent, hit the ball high. He has a little bit of a high ball flight, mid ball flight. Maurice Allen, got to watch him on the range, making sure that he's going to have a high ball flight as well. Always great to see Landon Gentry.
He's back.
He's been here for a while.
So I've been trying to get a hold of my son the last 2 days on FaceTime. He's called twice in the last 3 minutes. It's like, come on, Trey. Come on, buddy. Turn on the YouTube and watch World Long Drive.
Will he be at Worlds?
Probably. I got to bring him. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man.
We've been waiting for his arrival.
Scotty Perman at 359, Jake Ignite at 351, Jared Forder without a number as of right now. Ghost player has not hit a ball in play his entire career.
It's crazy.
But he's never gone OB either.
He's crazy. So this morning, a little bit of dew on the ground. We talked about this grid a bit. It's sloping from right to left. Can you talk through how players are going to change up this
There's not much roll. It's like hit it straight and carry it as far as you can. I mean, that's really the strategy. And the guys that are going to be hitting it 170, 80, 90 feet in the air are going to win. it's that simple.
Yeah.
Scotty Perman hits a high golf ball. And
we'll see around the same numbers. Is
yeah.
that what you're saying? Yeah,
I don't think there's going to be too much of a difference. I mean, we did see like a 367 from Seb, which is a bomb. Yesterday, the biggest drive was from Wes Patterson at 367 in the qualifying, like the World Championship qualifier. But Yeah, 350, 360 is a solid drive right now. So, but yeah, it is all carry. There was a chance of rain, but it looks like that cell has moved through. So we should be pretty safe the rest of the day.
Scotty Perman, 359 with the win here. Jake Hignite, 351.
And Eddie Fernandez is going to make it. He's got a chance. He has landed in New York early on in the day, and now is driving. I took that drive 2 days ago. It took 2 hours and 30 minutes to get here, but it was only like 90 miles.
Did you go through the city?
I was in the city.
Okay.
So maybe if I wasn't in the city, it might have gone a little bit quicker, but it's about a 2.5 hour drive from the city to here. So not sure what airport. If you landed in Kennedy, it's going to be a little bit longer, but.
And Jacob Hignite has made 2 appearances this year out of the second, and he's gotten out of the second round each time. 1 in Hope Sound, 1 in LaSalle. Hopefully we'll see a third this week. Right now, Galladay, Haggerty, Wad.
David Wad, yeah, and then Ben Kassman. So Galladay, let's take a peek at Jacob. Yeah, he was showing me yesterday just his speed session, and Galladay was getting around 211, 212 ball speed. Him at that ball speed is very, very dangerous.
Very.
You know, a great ball striker.
I know I've noticed you've said speed session. What is a speed session?
Where you don't really care where the golf ball's going. You're just trying to generate as much speed as you can on the golf ball, you know, and you talk about building that reserve, you know, something that Martin's been able to do. Seb Twiddell, obviously Kyle. I mean, Kyle is, his average ball speed's insane. You know, I mean, he's like cruising. You know, he was, cruising at like 225, 226, 227.
I think another important thing in speed sessions is to hit into a net or a screen possibly.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to care where the ball goes, right?
You're just, I mean, there's numbers on the board that mean something, especially when you're trying to work on landing angles or launch or what have you. When you have a TrackMan or a Foresight or a Flight Scope, they'll have so many tiles that spit out numbers, and you might focus on a couple different tiles in the beginning of a speed session. In middle session, you're looking at something else, and then maybe you're refining something at the end. And, for me, like, I always got faster as the session went on. And you normally have like a window where you can really go full throttle, and you could care less where the ball goes. If it goes straight, great, but you're trying to just build up that reserve to where, maybe at the beginning of the year you 210, but based on your speed training, what have you, you could sit at 214, 215. That's a big difference. And the one guy that I was really impressed with building speed was Bryson DeChambeau. Like, he was unbelievable. And when you account for, there's some guys that can just go full gas without adrenaline, and granted, music helps. Like, when you're in a speed session, you got music blaring and all that other stuff. You got guys yelling at you, but Bryson it was unbelievable watching his speed sessions, like in the middle of an event, and to go from like 210 to 212 to 218, 219 at the end of a tournament is impressive.
Without a doubt, one of the best to do it, and it was really great to witness that during COVID. I mean, we all got a front row seat to watch a lot of different speed sessions going on. And so if you're at home and you're thinking about joining World Long Drive, make sure that you get in a speed session, but you have a lot of opportunities to do so. One being the TrackMan competition that comes on every single week. Another, local qualifiers. We have qualifiers, sanctioned qualifiers all over the world.
I'm Bryce Verplank. I'm your 2023 Port Rowan Open Division champion.
Bryce Verplank had a turnaround for the ages at the sixth stop on the 2023 tour, and it would be tough to script a better story for his first ever World Long Drive win.
I was absolutely struggling. Had 2 OB sets, and then in the other 3 sets, I hit a total of 3 balls in. None of them were caught well.
Verplank found himself in a playoff to make the round of 16, and while Sean Johnson won that set, Verplank managed to advance after another golfer withdrew from the competition due to injury.
I was fortunate enough to hit a decent one in the playoff, which ended up getting me through, and then I found it on the range after that. Once it clicked on the range, I was super confident on the grid, and I just try to take deep breaths, remain as calm as possible, and just be in rhythm and just center punch it. And I knew it was going to be good flight, good speed, everything I was looking for. So,
ladies and gentlemen, we started with 47 of the longest drivers in the world. We are now down to the final 2.
Slot number 1 seems to be the favorite, and you have the top-seeded guys starting in 1 with Perman winning the first set and Galladay the second one. Bryce Verplank is currently in the lead at 354. I really like this grid for Verplank as well. He's a 220 guy, and he hits it high.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think coming off his last win, he'll have a lot of good energy coming into this event. But you guys just got to hear it there. What an incredible journey.
Yeah.
He also had the longest ball of the day.
Yeah.
So longest ball of the day, advanced all the way to the win. Excited to see what he's going to do here today. The grid is literally open for a lot of these guys to take home a win. I don't think I could say who would do it. I think that'll come a little bit more down to tomorrow.
Justin James looked really good. I mean, we said it earlier, like, I guarantee his heart rate was lower than anybody's. Like, he is on autopilot. And even Seb looked really good, too. I mean, he won the first 4 sets. I mean, Costello, just the guys that you would expect to be doing well. They did very well today. There has been no upsets, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There hasn't.
Not yet.
No.
What is your heart rate? Do you know when you're on the tee?
So when I was walking up, I looked at my Whoop and I was like, I bet you my heart rate right now is 112, and it was 110. It was 110 walking up to the tee box. It's just, when you've done it for a long time, you want to stay in control. And I know in speed sessions they want to pump up that heart, that heart. And Kyle's, I mean, I've watched more speed sessions with him, but like he's trying to get like 180, 190 heart rate, which is insane. Like if I'm pumping it as hard as they can, and like a
lot of Red
on
Bulls.
the Peloton, like that's like super high,
I remember I did a lot of practicing having different monitors on me to try and have low heart rate but high adrenaline. And so I think a lot of golfers do that as well, but it helps with the mental game without a doubt. Bryce Verplank, no surprise here, taking this group at 354.
Boy, picking up where he left off. Yeah, I enjoyed watching poker online or poker on TV when they put guys on heart monitors, and if they were bluffing or if they were like, super calm and had a good hand, but like a lot of the times when the guys were bluffing, their heart rates were crazy, like 160, 170, and they're not even moving. They're just, it's just, that's why you would see like poker players cover up their necks. They would put like a scarf around, or they would put a hoodie on just so you couldn't see like the vein, beating. So it's crazy. But
I say it every time. I think we should have heart rates on here.
I do,
It'd be really
I
cool.
think that would be kind of cool, to see how everybody approaches it. Like, because the guys that I think that would have probably low heart rates, they probably do have them, just based off their demeanor and their personality. And, but it's always fun, like when it comes down to crunch time and these guys are yelling at golf balls and, people, normally they thrive under the pressure. The best in the business always thrive under pressure. And they do well when their heart beats at 110 or 170.
Right. Well, we've had half of our day to 2 groups and 16 players that are advancing to tomorrow. We will see who the next 16 are after this, and then finish up the day at 3:30 with the open division, with the senior division.
Yeah, Brandon Flynn, Maurice Allen, TJ Baker, Kevin McFarland. You got the 2018 world champion Maurice Allen in slot number 2. I don't even know if they had player of the year in 2017, but Maurice had to be the player of the year. He won 4 or 5 tournaments and ended up winning the world championships in 18.
We were talking about fashion earlier today with Isaiah Joyner, and I'd say Maurice is one of the pioneers with that. I get excited for him to advance just in general, but also to see what else is he going to wear.
Yeah.
What shoes is he going to bring out?
He's just so tough. He's a guy that we've said it so many times. He could care less who's on the tee box with him. He's just going to hit a bunch of golf balls, and he's just battles through these events, and he gets stronger and stronger as these tournaments get on as well. Based off of his career, similar to like Justin James. They get better as the tournament goes.
Yeah.
Koch is the same way. Koch is always tough. There's a reason why Koch has so many top 8 finishes this year.
Number 3 in the world.
Yep.
Brandon Flynn, huge fan of him as well. He's had a good year so far.
Yep.
And we're looking right now at Flight Scope. Flight Scope helps give data, numbers. Can you kind of break down to the audience who's just joining what they should be looking for today?
Because it is a carry grid, I would look at the carry distance. You know, when you look at the carry distance on these numbers, like final numbers, like a 340, like Flynn's ball, look at that, 345, 351, 359. I would be looking more at the carry distances right now. Obviously, ball speed is extremely important later on in this tournament if it's a carry grid. And the guys that, you know, if they're hitting balls in play, they're going to be the 215 to 225 up to 230 guys.
Yeah.
So. But Brandon Flynn putting on a clinic right now. Slot number 1 is proving to be the slot, which it was yesterday as well. That was the best slot. But I felt like if there weren't any other tee boxes out there and they're like, well, what slot are you in right now? I would say, I'm in slot number 3. Just based off of, like, my sight line, I felt like I was in slot 3, even though I was in slot 1.
The tee is a little slanted?
It possibly, yeah. And like slot 4, just optically, I felt like I had, if it's a 60-yard wide grid, I felt like I had 60 yards left to miss. Like I could miss 60 yards left.
Especially with a draw.
Yep. So Maurice Allen, 355. And Maurice is really good at you know, keeping that ball in the air for a long time. And we said it earlier today, if you look in slot number 2 and you see these balls going OB left,
it's just not calibrated right now.
Yeah, they're staying in play. So you're like, well, there's no way that Maurice's last 4 golf balls were in play because they went OB left. No, it's just they got to make a calibration. But slot number 1 proves to be the winner, 4 wins in a row. We'll be back right after this.
Long Drive is extremely excited to announce its first major tour event, which will take place in Kingsport, Tennessee from August 26th to the 28th. 64 of the world's top long drivers will go head-to-head until a champion is crowned. Here's what you need to know about the event. The Golf Channel will be taping the live event Monday, August 28th from 5 till 6:30 p.m. and broadcasting the results later that night starting at 8 p.m. In addition to the Open division, we'll see the top hitters compete in women's, senior, and amateur divisions. Kids Day, presented by the Greater Kingsport Family YMCA, is Saturday, August 26th. There will be bounce castles, face painters, poster making lessons, and activities for kids of all ages. Tickets cost just $20, and kids 12 and under are free. Get your tickets today, and we'll see you at the end of August.
And we're back. We've got Landon Gentry, Jacob Galladay, Kevin McFarland, and Jake Hignite on the tee right now.
Mr. Gentry took a couple tournaments off, and I took a second place in his first round. But Gentry's been here since 2009 that I can remember, and it might have even been earlier. But, you know,
to your
out
point,
of all the guys, he's been here the most, and then Maurice is right after that. I mean, Maurice came in 11, I believe.
And to your point, everyone in slot number 1
took it down.
So we'll see if that continues on in this next set.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all of them are the highest ranked players. So
makes sense.
Yeah, they're kind of good. So right now, 16 guys have made it.
Uh-oh.
1 playoff.
We got a break. Jacob Galladay's club snapped.
Uh-oh. That normally doesn't happen with Jacob because he doesn't have that big recoil. That one snapped right in the center, almost the center of the shaft there.
Wow. Thankfully, he brought another club up.
Yep. No, he did mention he has a different setup this week. So.
Have you broken a shaft?
Yeah, I used to recoil all the time. I would bounce it right off the hip. I mean, I used to have a scar right above, right on my hip where, you know, this shaft would just like kind of like bang, you know, it hit you right there. So, but yeah, I eventually got rid of the recoil, the big recoil after the first couple years, but it becomes expensive, you know, breaking shafts.
It's a low barrier entry to get into long drive, but if you keep breaking shafts, it's just as expensive as the game of golf.
But it doesn't happen very often.
No.
You know, it really truly doesn't. And
do you think the club face flattens more than a recoil broken shaft?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess they've done such a good job with the drivers, like that driver that I hit yesterday, that Paradigm head, like I feel like I could hit 5,000 golf balls with that thing, and it's not going to migrate that much.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm not putting up 220, 225 ball speed, but when you hit those clubs, the ball right in the center of the club face, that head stays around forever. I mean, that XR16 that Callaway made, that thing was unbelievable. You get 5,000 hits off it, get it into the round. But Gentry takes down the set at 350. Slot number 1's 5 for 5. Galladay at 340. AJ Kignite 346. Kevin McFarland without a number.
I think another thing is just equipment over the past few years has increased tremendously. Whatever club it could be, company, you've got Callaway putting out great things. You have TaylorMade.
Yeah, Crank's been around. He got like 20 plus world championships. But yeah, at the end of the day, I watched a video of Martin Borgmeyer hitting a 40-gram shaft. He's like swinging 30%, goes 213. Old school days, like when I got in, swinging an 85-gram shaft, it looked like Martin swung as hard as he possibly could and had the same exact ball speed. So the technology's changed, and this is a game of inches and science, and we call Bobby Peterson the mad scientist. He really is. Like yesterday, he sees me hit a ball, and he counts. He's like, you can hit it right now in this condition 347. The next round I went 349 and hammered it. Like he just knew like right away based off my launch and spin or whatever. He's like, yeah, it's about 349. But yeah, it's better equipment. All these OEMs are making improvements to their equipment.
And when you say OEMs, for our fans at home, what
Callaway, TaylorMade, Titleist, Bridgestone,
name them all.
Yeah, name them all. Those are OEMs. So, I'm looking at this golf ball right here.
Prototypical.
What color golf ball, if you had to hit, which would you rather hit?
Pink's my favorite color.
Got it.
Also, you can see it in the air.
Yeah.
No matter what sometimes if it's cloudy, it's hard to see that yellow ball.
Yeah, for me, like optically, I like the yellow golf ball though. I don't know why, like just it's
good.
Aesthetically pleasing to my eye when I hit it. Like whether I see it track it or not, I look like looking down at the yellow golf ball.
I think also it's traditional with range balls. Like yellow golf balls are in our head for a long time. I'm loving these cornrows.
Oh yeah, George Hegarty. He had trouble yesterday as well with his travel. He probably got in. It said that his flight wasn't going to land until 3 o'clock. And funny enough, I was on that same flight that he had from Fort Lauderdale, so I wouldn't have got in until like 3 o'clock. But he's here. Hegarty's here.
He is a movement coach.
Yes.
Focusing on movement.
So Verplank's sequencing is locked in. So this ball looks like it's OB left. This one's in play. There's no doubt. I've seen enough golf balls now hit in slot number 2 to know that ball's in play. So Verplank's third ball that looked like he pulled it like 50 yards left is in.
As we were talking about flight scope earlier.
355.
Carry distance has been pretty much right on, but you can also have an idea in slot number 2 of if it's going to be in or not, even though it's off.
Yeah.
If you look at the curve.
Like that ball's in play.
If you look at the movement,
yeah,
it'll paint the story that the ball is in or it's not.
Yep. It was Justin James, the group. I'm like,
there's no way.
No, it was Zach Holton. I'm like, make an adjustment, bro. You're hitting it dead straight. Like, and he said it like 80 yards OB, and then I just start seeing like 4 balls in a row that are in play. I'm like, okay. I was like, this is not him. So, but Verplank 361, just hitting bombs right now. He's looking really good, and I like him just because he hits the ball. Well, I like him because he's fast. I like it that he hits it high, as well, and he hits it straight.
218 right there.
Coming off a win.
Carry distance, 361.
Yep.
On the board.
All right, Hegarty's ball. Let's take a look at Hegarty's ball. He spun a little bit too much. That one went 330. He might have overspun that one. TJ Baker with 353 on the board. Looking at Baker's here in slot number 4. His club speed. That ball looks nice right there. 154. That dude's moving it. 207.9. TJ Baker with some heat.
A lot of heat there.
Yeah.
Tall player, a lot of width to that swing. Looks like Bryce Verplank will take this one, and we will be back with that confirmed right after this.
Introducing the new Bridgestone E9 Long Drive, co-designed by world long drive athletes to push the limits of distance. Thanks to extreme ball speed and superior aerodynamic flight. Engineered for you to hit your longest drive. Drive the new E9 Long Drive, extreme distance for your game.
There we have it again, Bridgestone golf balls. We've been talking about this all day. You got a chance to hit it yesterday. It's awesome, too, because you can go and buy this at the store.
Yep. Or you can just, wait after the tournament,
Or
maybe scoop up a couple hundred and then stop the entire airport in Memphis.
Listen.
Going through security.
Or you could buy a plane ticket, come watch an event, participate in the event, and take some balls home with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to be able to hit. If you do corporate outings and exhibitions, the golf ball that you hit in competition, you get to practice with it. So, yeah, you can just buy them, at any store. And, I don't know how many hole-in-ones these guys have. I'm wondering how many hole-in-ones this E9 ball has.
I need to take a few of them and just sit on one hole. I'm pretty sure I can get a hole-in-one at some point.
I just saw Tanya, was it Tanya how do you say her last name? You know who I'm talking about, trick shot girl from New Zealand.
Cousins with Phyllis Meddy.
Yeah, Tanya ended up having 2 hole-in-ones within 10 swings. They were doing like a hole-in-one challenge.
Back. I saw that.
You saw that? I mean,
She's
granted,
awesome.
the hole's a feeder, but like that second one was like legit. 2 bounced it, bang, like right in the cup. But the first one kind of landed it past the green or past the pin, and it rolled back in.
It was beautiful. She had a lot of injuries, but she's one of the best golfers I've ever seen in ball strikers.
Yeah.
So just want to take a look here at the screen. I know you guys are probably looking to see why Masawi's numbers aren't coming up. It's because he's left-handed. So where Flight Scope has it aimed is not set up for lefties.
So yesterday, for me, like the trigger, like my
as well as Jared.
When I set up, you're looking at that green circle. I put mine at the far, like up and to the left. It just like it just told me like I got to hit the inside half of the golf ball type of deal. So that was kind of like my
up and left
setup. Yeah, like so the tee but what's crazy is that some of these guys will tee it on the backside of the green dot. It's like why? Like give yourself as many
because I hear if you tee it on the back, it gives you at least 5 more miles per hour.
Yeah,
no,
right.
Just kidding.
And so you got Brandon Flynn, who's got his to the far right. He's front and right. So that was something that I looked at. He even got Ben Castman's at the far right.
Brandon Flynn going hatless.
And slot number 2 looks like it's going to go back-to-back wins. But first 5 sets of this bracket of hitters, that slot 1 had 5 wins, and now slot 2 has 2 wins.
Our final group for this set, Maurice Allen, Scotty Perman, Zach Hammer, and David Wad. This is going to be a good matchup between Maurice and Scotty.
Yep.
Kind of similar.
Maurice has always been tough on carry grids. 2018 was a carry grid at the World Championships.
It was. It poured down raining that entire week.
I'll never forget that. Like it was like how that course wasn't flooded. I have no idea it was even possible. But Riesback hit probably the hardest golf ball I think I've ever seen hit. Like as far as like he hit the perfect shot at the perfect time. If it was a roll grid, he would have hit it 480 yards probably. Who knows? But it just like stopped 387.
I mean, balls were plugging.
Yeah, they were going anywhere.
It took a while for ball callers to find them. As we're talking about ball callers, shout out to the ball callers out there.
I think Riesback has the longest drive on that grid too. He went like 476 or something like that. and
That's a big drive out
in
there.
Oklahoma. But, well, you lived out there. If you get a south wind in Texas, like North Texas or
Very
East
true.
Texas or Oklahoma, and it's dry and it's hot, like the balls just don't stop rolling. It's insane. Like you could hit 450 and it's like, I hit that a little thin. Like it just keeps rolling. Nothing stops it. Scotty Perman, 346 on the board. Maurice Allen, slot number 1. Looks like he's going to be OB left. David Wad, this one's taking up a lot of real estate right to left. A little bit of a miss hit for Wad, but it's in play.
One thing really cool about Maurice is that he's the only person to ever hit a ball across Niagara Falls, as well as Cassie. I think she did a video hitting maybe on a building or something like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she has a really cool video hitting over some unique things, and so I always love to see long drivers push the limit of where we can hit, what we can hit over, how far we can hit it.
Just hit it into a different country.
From,
I feel like you can do that in, was it Las Hitas down in
Mexico?
Yeah, in Texas.
I want to say Aaron Hess is that way.
I do believe she was out there back in the day.
Yep.
Aaron Hess, a former long drive
World
professional.
long driver.
All right, Maurice hit a little cut down. Looks like this one's down the middle. Let's take a peek at these numbers. I feel like this one's going to be farther than 326, potentially farther than 346. A 335 carry. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's in and around 340. Still looking at a number on the board.
Scotty Perman. One number on the board at 346. What do you like about Scotty Perman's game?
Well, what I really like seeing a couple days ago was Scotty Perman. His ball speed was up to 225. He just had an insane speed session, which makes me believe that Scotty's found his there he goes, 376. It's funny how we just start talking about that and just weird things happen. But yeah, Scotty went 225, 226 a couple days ago, and he had like a 20 ball window where he was just moving it like crazy fast, like over 220 average.
And then hits the longest ball of the day at 376. You think players are going to start paying us to start talking about them at certain
It's like,
times?
yeah, it was meant to be there. But
all right, well, we'll be back right after this.
The World Long Drive Virtual Tournament is live. All summer long, compete in this virtual tournament for a chance to win a cash prize. World Long Drive is giving away $1,000 in monthly prize money to the top driver in each division. Top 50 per division will advance to the finals in September with a prize pool of $25,000. You can enter as many times as you want. For full details and to register, visit worldlongdrive.com or scan this QR code on your screen right now.
So Scotty Perman goes 376. Yesterday there was a ball at 386, which is telling me maybe if you carry at 365, there might be some rollout, because we do see, a little bit of elevation change from the right side of the grid to the left side of the grid, and maybe there is some rollout, but it has to be past a certain number.
For sure, there's some harder spots the further out that you go.
Yeah.
When I went to go take a look at the grid. But we are starting set number 3. Maurice doing a back-to-back here. Jacob Hignite, Ben Kastman, and Bryce Verplank.
So we said slot number 1 got all wins, and slot number 2 got all wins last group. We'll look at the names in the first group and the second group. It's all the same hitters. So they can win in all different boxes there. So
one person not winning, Ghost.
Yeah, that Ghost player is awful.
All right, they're off to a good start. When you run into people that have never heard of long drive, I was actually at the airport getting my car, and the lady goes, "Well, what is it? I've never heard of it. How do you explain it?"
Swing hard, ball go far. I hit the ball as far as I can.
That simple.
Yeah, I'm a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
They're like, well, how's your short game? I'm like, I'm terrible. I can't break 100. It eliminates a lot of issues. like answering questions. Because people always say, like, well, you hit the ball so far, like, you should be playing on the tour. I'm like, well, it's a lot more than just hitting a golf ball far. It's like, we can just go full throttle. Like I said, the best player ever in the history of long drive, has a U.S. Open title, but he is a golfer that turned long driver. So, and Bryson DeChambeau. It's, it's completely, I mean, like, all these guys are different athletes. Maurice, track star. Bryce Verplank played baseball at University of Texas, pitcher. Ben Cashman came in second in the Olympics in ping pong. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Cashman won something. He might have won the spelling bee in 2003 or whatever, but, Cashman won at something.
I heard the ghost player was really good at the fast walking in the Olympics. Came in first every time. But track is really interesting because we do have some track stars out here, and I think another big name is Troy Mullins, who was not a triathlon. What'd she do? She was in the track space.
Yeah, sprinting and
she did it all, and just the legs, the vertical, the trunk. Really helps to create a lot of speed there. Maurice Allen creating the speed with 388. Bryce Verplank 349. Jake Hignite 341. And Cashman 319.
So Verplank, 3 straight wins, will have 600 points he's in. You will see him tomorrow in the round of 32. Maurice will have 250 points going into the next 2 sets. Yes, last group was so top heavy. Like, there was like 7 guys that were already in, and they hadn't even hit a ball yet in their 5th set. So,
yeah, we've had a set like that, a group like that, and then this morning we had a group where it was kind of bottlenecked there for a second and didn't have a playoff. Unfortunately, one of the players was injured, but Sam Judah made it through.
Yep, and Sam hooked me up with another energy drink. So Sam, thank you. You're my favorite to win it tomorrow. You're welcome. I just made 32 guys mad.
We had Isaiah Joyner in here letting us know that we all need to go and eat at Sally's. So maybe we'll do a pizza review tomorrow.
We need to turn
it
up.
Let you guys know how good Sally's is.
They just had pizza for lunch, and I ate at that place a couple days ago. The pizza is different. Like, it's like the bread is it's just a different taste. Like, even like bread with like butter on it was good. We need to get that down to South Florida, but.
Yeah, Portland's been a really cool place. I hope to be able to see a little bit more. I want to go to the quarries, which is what they're known for. But are you familiar with who's from here?
My dad.
Really?
Yeah, I went to my family's nursing home yesterday just to take a picture outside of it.
No way.
Yeah, it's called the Bradley Home.
Well, that's one famous person as well as Guy Headland, a silent movie actor that played in about 120 different movies. Erin Brady, are you familiar with her?
Erin Brady. Tell me.
Miss USA 2014.
I should have known that.
You should have known that. I thought you would have known that one. No. We got a NASCAR champion driver, Joey Logano.
Joey Logano?
Logano?
Yeah, that guy's really
Italian.
good. I thought Joey was from like Pennsylvania. I guess not. What do I know? But yeah, Joey Logano, that guy's a stud. Multiple.
Born here, so we don't know where he's actually from.
Yeah, he's a multiple-time, Daytona 500 winner. I know that he's won, the championship. He might have a couple championships as well. He's really good. No, it was cool. I talked about the Khaled event. I got to play with Bubba Wallace, and I asked him because he figured he played different sports. I'm like, well, what was your sport growing up? He goes, NASCAR. Like, what did you play? He goes,
NASCAR.
I raced. And, but yeah, he had a good swing too. Very controlled. He had fast hands, I guess in NASCAR you got to have fast hands. But
well, I think people sometimes think it's just driving a car fast, right? Same as long drive. You're just hitting it far. But you have to be an athlete in all these sports in order to be able to be the best.
It was so humid. I'm from South Florida, but it was so humid that day. I know that I lost 8 pounds, and I drank probably a case of water. And I was asking him, I'm like, how hot does it get in a car? He goes, oh, it gets hotter than this. And they're running for like 3 hours. I mean, that's insane.
So how do they get water? Just feed it?
They have that thing.
All right, well, it looks like Brandon Flynn's going to take this down at 3:58, and we'll be back right after this.
I started off in 2019, I believe it was, when I started with a long drive driver. I couldn't time it. So lost a little bit of accuracy. And then when I was ever on the simulator, I was looking at ball speeds, and I hit plane driver, I hit long drive driver, and I was actually quicker ball speed with the play driver because I was just timing it a lot better. So from there, I just was like, well, I'm just going to use a play driver. I have a Cobra LTD, and I have a Ventus Black shaft in that, and it's been working so far.
Slot 1 wins Group 1. Set number 2, slot 2, slot 3, and it's all the same guys. They keep winning. So Scotty Perman, Jacob Galladay, Bryce Verplank, and Brandon Flynn won their first 2 sets, and now Bryce Verplank and Brandon Flynn win their 3rd set in slot number 3.
And Scotty putting up the longest ball of the day.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of
not
wind
going to
shift,
happen
but
now. Yeah, that wind just picked up. Could feel it.
we just felt the breeze here in
yeah.
the booth.
Yep.
But that was good to hear from George Haggerty about using a play driver.
Yeah.
It is very hard to hit a long driver if you can't time it right.
Yeah, college golfer is just kind of accustomed to, hitting the same type of setup, 45 and a half inches and a lot more accurate. But I wonder if he's made, I feel like he's made a little bit of a change to go to a longer setup. But, George works out really, really hard. I mean, he's a nutrition, he's a movement coach, but he's all about his health, nutrition, exercising, and
if you want to know about wellness, if you want to know how to move better, if you want to know anything when it comes to the health and wellness space, he's definitely a guy to listen to.
Yeah, he's got a great swing. Really, really, really does.
I was very similar. It was really hard for me to hit the long drive driver. I was still trying to play on tour. So I use my stock
Is it the
driver.
Atmos or whatever, the
Yep.
yeah, like
Use
the
that stock
UST
one.
Mamiya?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then I started later to get a longer driver, but I would just club down on it
Yeah.
to have control over the ball.
I know that we used to call LD50. So if you stood it up against the wall, which is a lot easier to measure the drivers, it was about a ½ inch more than 48 inches, and they made that change probably
LD50.
8 years ago. Yeah, it was just called LD50 inches. So people ask, how long is your driver? You just say 50 inches, but it wasn't 50 inches. It was like USGA 48 and a half, if that was a measurement. And they ended up, once World Long Drive took over, they made it a 48-inch USGA conforming. So, and that's what we're following in these events is 48 inches. But a lot of these guys are probably in and around 47 and a half.
I would say the same.
47 3/4. Because sometimes the grip, just the grip alone, will get you over the 48 inches. So you'd see guys trying to saw off the back of the grip and then rub it on the concrete just to knock it down like a 1/4 of an inch.
That's too funny.
Menashe Misawi's in slot 1. He's at 335. Kevin McFarland doesn't have a number on the board. Scotty Perman looking good here at 349. George Haggerty at 329. Haggerty with a good ball down. Look at the club speed, just a little bit of a miss hit. I feel like he's going to improve on that last ball. Carry distance of 332. George Haggerty in slot 4. Let's take a peek if he takes the lead on that last one.
Waiting for the numbers here.
Haggerty's just missing a little bit because his club speed's there. He's just missing the center of the club face right now. He's plenty fast enough.
I know you've experienced it, but the miss you want to be a little bit high on the face.
Yeah. Well, normally if you hit it high in the face, you'll knock down spin. And but today, it being a carry grid, you probably want to spin it just a little bit more. But yeah,
so it
normally
stays in the air a little bit longer.
Yeah, normally though those high in the face, a little high in the face, those balls are gone. They go forever. Slot number 1.
Nugget.
Oh yeah, high in the face. Menashe Misawi improves to 344, but Scotty Perman's going to take down the set at 359. So Scotty Perman wins. Yeah, we're doing. Yeah, that's. I'm guessing if you're gambling, you're 11 for 11 here. Slot 1, 2, and 3 with the same guys. So Galladay can get the sweep here with a win.
You know where I think this is going to come into a bust?
What?
Set number 5.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's going to happen. Because all those guys are
hit against each other.
They're all facing each other. But the guys that are supposed to be doing well are doing very well.
Yeah, I've also enjoyed watching TJ Baker hit.
Yeah. I guess Galladay, Galladay, where is he at?
Right here.
Okay, he's up next.
Jacob Galladay here. Really loved how, I mean, Jacob's always calm, but he had another sense of calmness and confidence today as I got to watch him warm up on the range.
So they ended up taking, there must have been a last-minute change because now Galladay's back at 50 points.
Oh.
So whoever who beat him in that?
Yeah, but they all have 50 on this one. No, just kidding. Huh.
Who did he go up against? So there must have been like a last-minute like change of the numbers, which, like I said, sometimes if we go to commercial break, you'll see that number change late and we might miss it. So Galladay ended up not winning his second set. So.
Yeah. And if you see a line underneath the numbers, that means that the number is confirmed. If you don't see a line, sometimes we have to wait a little bit longer just to make sure that whatever the number is out there is confirmed.
Well, Landon Gentry ended up winning that set because he went up against Jacob Galladay. So yeah, that's where it's at. That's where it was. That's my own mistake because it was 5 for 5 and then all right. I made a mistake.
All good.
One of very many probably today, but it's okay.
Same.
You know, we're only here for 10 hours.
Jacob Galladay right now in the lead at 349. He's a great swing to watch. Numbers are always great to watch. You can take what you see with Jacob Galladay and put that on a course.
Oh, yeah. Galladay's got great hands. Great hands.
And swing that swing with every club.
Yep. Right now, we're starting to feel a little bit of humidity in the booth. It's starting to heat up. I mean, we would think the golf balls would be going farther, but if you're looking from a side angle here, you'll see the American flag and the Yukon flag slightly into the face.
Yukon. Women's basketball.
Oh, yeah. They know how to win a lot of championships.
We're going to have a guest coming in the booth with us here soon.
Jack Abbott's back at it, huh?
Jack Abbott back at it.
He doesn't have a nickname yet.
The only thing I can think about Abbott is Abbott Elementary.
I can think Rabbit.
Rabbit,
Yeah.
which is
Eminem.
Abbott Elementary is a fantastic show.
Yeah.
I love that show. But Jacob Galladay.
I mean, his name is Jack Abbott.
Jack
Rabbit Abbott.
Hey.
You know about nicknames here at World Long Drive. We have a couple nicknames. What's your favorite? What's your favorite nickname of all the Long Drive competitors?
Oof. That's tough. I don't know. I feel like you have a name in mind.
There's a bunch of names in mind, you know? It's okay
Honestly,
to say it, you know? Like, you got Marty Borgie 240. You got Pow Pow. Now we got Jack Rabbit Abbott, you know?
I definitely have to say I think Justin James
JJ?
with the snapping turtle is one of the best. It is his personality to the full. But we're about to bring in Jack Rabbit
Abbott. Jack Rabbit Abbott. That's what they used to call me. Oh, really? Well, that makes sense. I'm not original then.
No, I mean, it'll make a comeback, you know?
It could. It could. All right, so you ended up winning the amateur division, and the worst in poker is to be the bubble boy.
Yeah, for the
world qualifier.
For the regionals, yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, you were right there with me, so.
Yeah, no, 6th and 7th gets us a grand total of nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, all those sets, man, all those rounds.
That was fun though. I mean, it's double elimination formats. You've hit in them both. Like, do you like double elimination format or do you like the round robin?
In the amateur, I like the round robin for sure.
Yeah.
Just because I've done well the past few times in that format, and then double elimination. I mean, I don't know what favors who, to be honest. You were saying yesterday
Accuracy.
that
guys that are going to put a lot of balls in play that aren't going to make mistakes. Like, you're going to be like 203, 204, 205 and hit balls in play.
Yeah.
Applies a lot of pressure, especially when, you know, you could be eliminated within 12 swings.
Totally.
And if you lose, it's a gauntlet. Like, you can't lose round 1 or 2. It's almost impossible
Right.
to get through a qualifier. I mean, how many times did you hit yesterday?
A lot.
5 or 6?
Like sets?
Yeah, sets.
Well,
in
the regional?
Yeah, in the regional.
Probably 5 or 6.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
And you did the amateur.
And then I did the amateur, yeah. Yeah,
And
it was a
you
long
hit
day.
today.
It was a long day. We got in about 3 a.m. on.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we got about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours.
Flight troubles?
Yeah, it was tough. They had to deboard the plane and unfuel it. I've never heard that one before, but
Sometimes planes they overfuel the
that's
plane.
what. Yeah. So it was a tough one, but it's great to be out here and great to be back in the booth.
Who are you traveling with?
My dad. Yeah. So he's along for the ride this time. And
He's your caddy as well?
yeah, if you can call him that, definitely. And Hunter's always with me too. So
Yeah.
he's been helping me out a lot, and so lucky to have him and get to see him hit about an hour or so.
Yep.
But this grid, man, it's
Yeah,
pretty
how do you like the grid? How do you like the setup of this event?
Oh, it's awesome. I think today's kind of the same case. I don't think there's a lot of roll going on, but also there's wind into the face, so it's you want to keep it low, but then you also can't go too high. I had a couple that were just 3,000, 3,200 spin this morning. I mean, not hitting it great, and it's a hard setup for sure with the wind in the carry. So
We talked about earlier, you did the amateur event, you did the qualifier, you're hitting today. How do you conserve energy, especially knowing that we're about to go into 30 days of 3 events?
yeah, that's a good question. I got a lot of sleep last night, and then I took a nap after yesterday, so it helped a little. I felt rested this morning, and sometimes you just don't have it. So 211.
That's a big carry
Big ball.
from Brandon Flynn. That one said 363.
Yeah,
Let's see if that one came back.
That goes to your point, Bobby, of slot number 4.
I really like slot number 4. I mean, but yeah, it's funny. Like you say, you got a lot of room, but I hit a good ball yesterday in set number 5. It was round 5, but I took up way too much real estate right to left.
Right.
So I needed to hit it straight.
Well, I think they're caking off that. It's kind of a hill almost.
Yeah.
And I think it's getting a little bit of a bigger bounce when you're in that slot 4.
Yeah, it was right. I wrote here yesterday. Someone went 386, and then Perman went 376. So I'm curious to see if there is maybe some rollout past a certain carry distance.
And Brandon carried at 363, right? He got 3 yards of rollout. If Flight Man was correct, wow, George Haggerty with 362 there. 375.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like once you get to a certain number, there's some rollout.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, it's the wind's a little left to right, but it's almost still right now. So
was Scotty's ball down the right? Was he in that slot 4?
Yep.
Scotty
I don't know if he
was
in slot 4.
in slot number 2.
2. And then it was just up the right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The longest balls yesterday were, I believe, in slot 1 or 2. I know Wes went 360-ish a couple times.
Yeah.
Drew Cody went 360 in slot number 2.
Yeah, anything 370 and up right now is huge.
It's a monster drive, but
It's
blends in.
massive.
So how do you train now?
That's a good.
Like, what does workout look like? What is speed? We've been talking a lot about speed sessions.
Right.
What do those things look like for you?
I try to get out. I have an internship, so it's it's an 8 to 5 this summer, and so after I try to train 3 to 4 times a week, and then about twice I'll do speed. So just trying to push numbers and trying to push limits, and it's worked out so far. I just got some speed sticks, and I'm moving down to. I just moved down to a D20. I'm not used to these whippier shafts, so definitely have to use.
Do a lot of practice with that.
Yeah, exactly. To just get the timing right.
Yeah, sure. It's funny because I've been hitting a D10 for so long.
Yeah.
And yesterday I ended up getting a shaft from Bobby, and it was the LD20. I can't believe how much more, like I said, the stability of the shaft, it was just felt different.
It's weird.
And but I couldn't get myself to hit it. Like, even though I know I was hitting it dead straight with that thing, that D10, there's something about it, it just feels good. And today, I haven't practiced at all. Like, I don't even feel like I hit yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to fight the shaft. You just get your hands set and go.
You're talking about D10, D20, D2. That all means the flexibility of the shaft, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because even the separation from my D30 and my D20, it's the same thing between Bobby, your D10 and your D20. It feels you pick up the D30 after hitting the D20 a certain amount of times, and it feels like you're hitting a 3x.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It feels heavy, and if you feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
and I think the game is definitely moving in the right direction with the flexier shafts, just easier on the body for sure.
Yep, we talked about it earlier with Michael Block, and Kyle and I were talking to him, and Kyle's like, I'm gonna get you for 162 to 180, and we were talking. He was just mind blown that guys are hitting 40 gram shafts.
Michael
He's
Block.
Like, yeah, he's like, guys using 40 gram shafts. Like he couldn't believe it. And even then, like, I mean, yeah, like if you're 162 and you're using like an 85 gram shaft, it's like a light pull. Like, granted, your dispersion needs to be ultra tight, being a PGA Tour live guy, what have you.
Of energy.
Yeah, you got 25 yard fairways. Yeah, I mean, you got to hit certain spots, but I mean, like that guy, I would be curious. I bet you like one session, the guy would be probably 168 to 170 just with like a 40 gram shaft and different setup.
Could you imagine a Tony Finau?
No, Finau can get after it. I mean,
with the lighter shaft.
I've heard if he takes it up closer to parallel, a little pass, he can get up to like 205, I think.
Oh yeah, he can get up higher than that.
Yeah.
Finau's got long levers. He can hammer.
Yeah. He's got the gas, but Bryce Verplank had the gas in this set with 363.
Oh yeah.
Verplank with all wins, Flynn with all wins. So they're at 800 points apiece. Perman hasn't hit yet. He's at 600. Hignite is at 350 after 4 sets. I like his chances.
Who are you rooting for in this set?
I mean, I think I really always cheer for B. Flynn. I mean, I love his swing. I think his swing is my favorite.
Definitely golfish.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Scotty Perman, he looks really good. Landon Gentry, I kind of grew up watching him. Like, I saw him a few times on the broadcast back in the day, so it's cool to see him. And but yeah, pulling for Brandon. I mean, he's undefeated so far.
Yeah.
So he looks good, and Bryce definitely looks good. I think he feels good
Bryce
coming off that win. So
as well as Scotty, this is
3
really big people putting up some big. I mean, they're at 375, 363, 376.
Yep.
Some of the longest balls of the day
balls.
so far.
Yeah.
Out of this group right now, but like I said, I'm looking at Bryce. He's fast and he's hitting it perfect.
Right.
Yeah, he looks really, really impressive coming off a win.
So we're in Portland, Connecticut. We've talked a lot about the pizza here. What are you going to eat?
Huh?
Yeah, they're known for pizza.
Well,
what do you do after you have a set and have the day?
So we just went to this place called Burger Heaven. It's right down the road. It's great. We went there yesterday too.
Oh, twice.
Yeah, it was so
you
good.
Really
we had to go.
It.
I know. We really do.
That's when you know it's good.
Yeah, I got this his burger, and it had mac and cheese on it. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Oh my goodness.
You know. So that's how you know I'm not hitting anymore. I'm getting mac and cheese on a burger. So.
That would send me straight into a nap.
I certainly want one, that's for sure. But it's so fun to watch these guys. 356.
Yeah, Galladay takes a win. He'd have 500 points, and I don't ever seen him go be his big set for obviously Maurice as well. 250 if he gets a win, he would be at 450 going into the final set.
For sure. You were talking about how you've watched Landon Gentry. Are there other players that you're now competing with that you've watched over the years that you get to share a tee box with?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Riesbeck, I haven't been able to hit head-to-head with him, but just him being, helping, call balls and everything, that's definitely cool. So hopefully soon I'll be able to hit with him. Let's see. Not really. I don't know who else is that's competing today. Was kind of. I know Bobby, you've had a lot of history with the sport.
With everybody.
So yeah.
Yeah. I remember one of my first sets. My first tournament in St. Louis 07 was Zuback, Pfister, Pavlet.
Yep.
Mobley. It's crazy. I hit my first 3 sets, and some guy puts his arm around my shoulders. He's like, "Hey man, congratulations on making it to Worlds." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I just won a local. I got to go to a regional." I was like, "No, you're the last man standing that isn't exempt to the World Championships." So that's how I got into the World Championships. My first year was through a tour event.
And what year was that?
07.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So been doing it for a minute.
Yeah. And what shafts were we using then?
I was using, I was using UST. I was using UST, the Pro Force 2 or whatever. It was like the 4. So it was probably like a 275 CPM shaft.
Yeah.
So that was Pat Dempsey's shaft, and I was using. It was nice. So, but the guys that really started figuring it out were the guys like Mobley, who was just in the booth, Bobby Wilson. A lot of those guys were using like 230, 240 CPM shafts back in the day.
Right.
So they knew it well before us.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kyle was really that first one, you know, to go, you know, from start to finish in Rochester back in 2019 with a softer setup. And he ended up sweeping the field. I think he had like 17 wins, straight wins.
Yeah.
And ended up, that was where he became
right
world
there.
number one.
Yep.
And a lot of people made that change. And I'll say it again, Martin Borgmeyer's video not too long ago of him smoothing a ball. He said 30% at 213 with a 40-gram shaft, and then going one that's like a light pole went 213, and he just used all of his energy, and it went the same distance.
Absolutely.
Hitting those setups, you felt like you were hit by a car. Like in some of these tournaments, like they were one-day tournaments too. So if you hit like 10 sets, like you were done. Like those shafts.
You got your ab workout, you got your hip
Oh,
workout,
yeah.
you
Oh,
got your
it's-
arms
it's
workout.
brutal.
You're pulling
Yeah.
hamstrings on the grid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
doing it all.
there was guys that they'd pull their hamstrings. Like, they were just firing so hard.
Right.
I mean, the shaft was to kick your butt.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned it last time I was in the booth, but I started out with a 4X or 4 or 5X House of Forge Raptor. It was Justin's.
Yeah.
Somehow that got handed down to me. I don't know how, but I got it. And it was nice moving down to a D30 and a D20. I had to take a break from that thing. I'm not strong enough. I mean, you see Justin's legs. He can certainly swing it.
And for people back home that are watching that don't necessarily fully understand, kind of the differences are a kids club and how whippy a kids club is versus maybe a ladies club, as the industry calls them, and then you have regular stiff, and senior flex as well.
Mm-hmm.
So all different types of shafts. Sometimes I feel like shafts are passed around here kind of like candy. I will see shafts. Hey man, try this one out.
Yeah.
Try this one.
Oh,
Try this one. You got to figure out what fits not only you but also the event that you're at.
Totally. It's very experimental. That's for sure. Yeah.
Scotty looking to put one in the grid.
Scotty Perman's going to be in at 600 anyways, but
Without
right
a
now
doubt.
putting a ball on the board, he doesn't want to have OB sets. But it's definitely more humid right now. It's gotten hotter the last 30 minutes. You can feel it in the booth. There's not much movement and wind.
There's not. We will take a little bit though.
Oh yeah.
Here in the booth.
Anything we can get, that's for sure.
So
Jack,
the World Championships for you guys is in Tennessee, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's August 26th, and then I believe that's the first televised for the Open there on Monday, Tuesday. So excited to tune in on my end and watch that just like I did when I was playing the normal golf in high school.
Yeah.
Super exciting. So just to be a part of it too. I mean, I'm so lucky, and yeah, it's a great thing to be a part of for sure.
One of my favorite grids for sure, and
Oh yeah.
everyone that's in that city comes out 20-fold to be a part of a World Long Drive and what's going to happen there. But I wanted to ask, when you're warming up, do you have anything playing in your ears? Any music?
It kind of this morning I did a little bit.
What you playing?
Oh man, it was like this some SoundCloud mix.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird? Yeah, it was just getting me. It was like probably first 10, 15 minutes. Then Hunter showed up and I took him out.
All right.
I like to hear the ball and everything, but
I totally get that. Well,
Yep,
thank you
yep.
so much for joining us
hey,
in the
thanks
booth.
for letting me in. Yeah, I appreciate it, and
Excited to
hopefully
continue to see you succeed.
Oh yeah, definitely. I appreciate
right,
it, guys.
see you soon.
Thanks so
Bye.
much.
Catch every single World Long Drive Tour competition right here on the World Long Drive YouTube channel. The Amateur, Senior, Women's, and Open Division Championship will be available on the Golf Channel. To stay up to date on everything WLD, follow us on social at World Long Drive. The World Long Drive Virtual Tournament is live. All summer long, compete in this virtual tournament for a chance to win a cash prize. World Long Drive is giving away $1,000 in monthly prize money to the top driver in each division. Top 50 per division will advance to the finals in September with a prize pool of $25,000. You can enter as many times as you want. For full details and to register, visit worldlongdrive.com or scan this QR code on your screen right now.
We are back. We've got 3 guaranteed people into the next round. Scotty Perman, Brandon Flynn, and Bryce Verplank. I think TJ Baker has a really great opportunity to get in at 450.
Yeah, any wins from any of these guys
Yeah,
in pink are in. Like the light pink or the bright pink that we get to see. So the guys that are in bright pink right now are TJ Baker, Menashe Masawi, Landon Gentry, Maurice Allen, Jake Hignite, Jacob Galladay. If those guys win, they're going to get in. They'll have 550 points. And there's guys like, like David Wad's at 325 as well. I mean, this is 3 guys that won all sets. So, but like last group coming into the round of the final set, 7 guys are already guaranteed to be in before they even hit a golf ball. So this one's a lot more of a log jam. Big log jam here.
It was really cool to hear from Jake talking about being on the tee with people that he watched.
Yeah.
It just shows how much this sport has grown and where it's going.
Jack Rabbit Abbott. I love it.
The rabbit.
Yep. Wonder if he's a good rapper.
Probably.
Bunny Rabbit. It's still a great movie.
Silly rabbit.
That movie's awesome. Like the final rap battle, Eminem just gets after it. Do you like that movie, 8 Mile?
Love that movie.
That's a good movie.
Took a picture at 8 Mile one time when in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, you fly into Detroit.
Might be
you go
somewhere
north,
old on the Instagram.
Is it, oh my gosh, Oakland Hills? It's Oakland Hills, yeah. That's the course, the U.S. Open course up there. Really nice place. Like the clubhouse burned down or something like that last year at Oakland Hills.
Yes.
Yep. But yeah, you'll always see the 8 Mile.
All right.
Ben Kastman, 351. It seems like slot number 4, the last couple groups have done really well, but we keep looking back at the names in slot 4, and it's the guys that have 800 points. They're guys that are really good. All the guys are good, but the guys that you expect to move easily into the round of 32, Scotty Perman, Brandon Flynn, Bryce Verplank, putting on a clinic.
Who do you think has the best short game on the long drive tour?
Bryson Shim. If it's not Bryson. I mean, Galladay's got great hands. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to play with a lot of these guys. But, I mean, Galladay's got just buttery hands.
Yeah.
He can putt, too.
He's so good.
He's a gambler, so, he plays better under pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, Mitch, late grade Mitch McDowell was a great golfer as well. Eddie Fernandez can play. They'll say, no, let's not forget about Eddie. Eddie got to play in a Champions Tour event where he goes out the first 9 holes and he's 87 over and then goes 4 or 5 under the next 27 holes. He goes out and shoots an 80, and then I think he shot a 68 on day 2. But he just said, when they announced my name at Pebble on hole 1, he's like, I blacked out for 9 holes. I can't remember any of it type of deal. And he's like, I finally got to settle in.
Successful.
Yeah.
The Eddie that everyone knows.
But that's impressive.
Yeah.
To never play in a PGA Tour event, let alone a Champions Tour event, and go out and shoot, say the last 27 holes at 4 under or 5 under. That's
really good.
It's pretty darn good.
Pretty sure he had the longest drives out there as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Tim O'Neill right now is averaging 309.
Yeah.
But I feel like Eddie.
That's Eddie's driving iron.
Yeah. I thought it was putter, but
he's smooth. I guarantee if he was just smoothing it with a 45-inch driver, he'd be 198, 200 ball speed. He's not even swinging hard.
No.
It's unbelievable. So he's going to make it. I haven't had him text me as of yet saying he's not going to not make it. So he'll be coming in hot. But the good news is it's hot outside. It's humid. It's not going to take these guys very long to get loose.
Warm up, yeah.
I mean, I felt like I hit 15 balls yesterday. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's get after it.
That's one thing that I noticed with people that are new or amateurs. They spend a lot of time on the range trying to warm up, and that's the biggest mistake, especially if it's hot. If you have a long day with a lot of rounds, you want to conserve all that energy as much as possible.
Absolutely.
All right, we're back looking at the board here.
So Ben Kastman, Kastman ended up winning that last set, but he's out. He's at 325 points. So right now, David Wad, Jake Hignite, Maurice Allen, Jacob Galladay are at right in and around 325, 350. Wad wins this, he would be at 525.
Guarantee his spot in.
I have a bird that's just hey, what's up, buddy? A bird like just hanging out next to me. These things are like tiny. Like they're like domesticated.
I was getting a little scared with them, and then I realized they just want to be friends. So
yeah.
Started kind of whistling.
I mean, they just kind of like hang out. Like I think I could probably pet the bird. You wouldn't even care. Hometown birds.
Hometown birds.
This is their range. It's no one else's.
A big set for David Watt as well as Jake Hignite.
TJ Baker, I mean, essentially is in like way in. He'd have 650
He just needed to put
points.
something in the grid.
He's fast too. Like he really is. Like I was really impressed this second set. I mean, he was putting up some really big numbers. So Hignite right now is in third place. That would put him at 400. So this is a big ball for him right here.
All right, here we go. Final balls.
Hignite takes a win. He was at 550. Right now he's got to improve just a little bit. Manashi Masawi is going to be at 550 if nothing changes, which make him in, I would think. TJ Baker would be at 650. So I'm going to look at slot number 4 right here with Jake Hignite. He said turn. Let's look at the ball speed here.
He's got to sit down. He wants it to sit.
150 feet in the air. He said it carried about 333, but TJ Baker improved. Yeah. Baker improved to 362.
He'll take the win there. He was already in, but that guarantees it.
Yeah, but Baker, I mean, that was a miss hit, but like big club speed numbers, a 150 guy.
All right, well, we'll be back right after this.
Introducing the new Bridgestone E9 Long Drive. Co-designed by world long drive athletes to push the limits of distance. Thanks to extreme ball speed and superior aerodynamic flight. Engineered for you to hit your longest drive. Drive the new E9 Long Drive. Extreme distance for your game.
And we're back here on the final set of Group 3. Right now, Scotty Perman, Brandon Flynn, Bryce Verplank are TJ Baker.
Manashi Masawi's in
Manashi
too.
Masawi. Is Landon Gentry in?
Landon wins, he's in. He would have 600 points.
Guaranteed to be in there.
Maurice Allen would be in if he wins. Galladay wins, he's in.
So this is going to be more so of if you win for these guys, let's see, Landon and Maurice.
Hegarty could get in. Every one of these guys, if they win, they have a chance to get in.
If they win, they're in. Some have a chance if they win, they'll tie.
Yeah.
We might have a tiebreaker coming out.
Gentry and Maurice win, they're definitely in. And Galladay. Galladay's at 350, but just in this group alone, there isn't one guy that's mathematically eliminated as of right now.
George Haggerty's sitting in that 4th slot. I want to say he did really well in that slot earlier.
Yeah. Maurice has got a number on the board at 340.
That's what you
Landon
need.
Gentry's
That's a
at
great
400.
start.
A number on the board right now would be critical just because Jake Hignite is in at 400. He's on the bubble right now. So if Gentry, puts a number up, he's going to have at least 425 points. We saw 425 tie earlier on in the day. Went to a 3-man playoff, which Sam Judah ended up winning. Hegarty's got a number on the board. Maurice is at 342. He improves. Landon Gentry's 0 for 3. He needs to put a ball in play to give himself at least 25 points. Haggerty's got a ball in play, but Haggerty has to win. He has no choice but to win this set in order to advance. Maurice Allen,
never know what can happen.
But Maurice right now is looking good at 342. Haggerty's got a ball down the right side that looks in, but the carry distance on Flight Scope says 323. I'm looking at Landon Gentry here in slot number 3.
In slot number 2, the ball is not tracing well.
I like Maurice's ball right here.
But this one looks good. And
that one looks good.
From his body language, I think it stayed in, and it might be a big number.
Say 350 would be good for Maurice, 355-ish, but I don't know how much rollout it's going to get. Gentry lot of real estate right to left, but he is at 336. Hegarty takes the lead, 343. Hegarty has to win to have a chance to get in.
Ooh.
Landon Gentry, worst case scenario, will be at 425, which would be tied with Hegarty. Maurice Allen's ball did not stay in
that
play.
did not stay in. On the final balls for all these guys, George Hegarty is hanging on by 1 yard in order to make it into the top 8.
So Gentry will have 450 the way it sits right now. If he doesn't improve, but that last ball looks like Gentry hit pretty well. Gentry takes the lead, 346.
What a set.
51, Jared Forder, boom. That's going to put him at 450. Maurice Allen will have 400 if he doesn't improve. Hegarty is going to be out. Gentry will have...
Oh, 355.
Oh, Hegarty, look at that. There you go.
He 5 out of 6 balls, 355.
They end up making that change that 5th ball. So, all right, now Hegarty's at 355. So he takes down the win. He'll have 425 points. Jared Forder will now be out.
Maurice Allen still on the bubble.
All right, so it comes down to Jacob Galladay. If Galladay takes second or better, he will be in. If he takes third, he will have a playoff against Maurice Allen and Jake Hignite.
Oh, man.
Landon Gentry's in, Hegarty's in, Masawi's in, TJ Baker, Bryce Verplank, Brandon Flynn, Scotty Perman.
So Jacob Galladay is in control of his future right now.
Yep.
And the future of Maurice Allen and Jake Hignite.
And he's going up against 3 guys that have all wins. So Scotty Perman, Brandon Flynn, and Bryce Verplank are 12-0 right now.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Scotty Perman and Brandon Flynn's going to do. They've been what and what for every event. Everyone, I think both won every set.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's won in this set. Perman, Flynn, and Bryce Verplank. So right now we're keying in on Jacob Galladay. Galladay is going to be in slot number 1. He needs to put a ball in play first, most importantly to put a number on the board. But if Galladay takes third place, he will have a 3-man playoff for the A spot against Maurice Allen and Jake Hignite. If he takes second or better, Galladay will advance and knock out Maurice and Jake. Jacob Galladay.
I think this is a good slot for him as well.
Slot number 1 seems to be a slot that everybody's done extremely well in. I felt like I was in slot number 3 and slot number 1 just by the way the tee was set up. It just fit the eye. So 339 for Galladay. He is currently in the lead.
If there's one thing Jacob's going to do is put balls in play.
Yep.
Oh, but I like that one. We got a grunt out of Scotty Perman.
Brandon Flynn, 357. Verplank. Looks like this ball, Verplank likes it. I mean, he's looking down that left side.
All
and
3
after
of the
this,
guys.
I'm pretty sure FlightScope will make that change,
right.
with the trot tracer.
We've got 212, 214, 211, 204. These guys are putting up big numbers right now.
Yep. So Scotty Perman looks like his ball went OB.
Oh, man, that was a really good ball flight.
Brandon Flynn, 366. So Galladay is on the bubble. Perman has 2 more balls to go. If he does go OB and nothing changes, Galladay will be in a playoff. He has to take third or better to at least keep his tournament alive. So Galladay, just try to climb up the ladder just a little bit. Just hit a little bit higher.
Galladay with 1 ball left. Perman with 2.
Yep.
And it seems like Scotty's just trying to put a lot of speed into these balls.
He's moving it. He's using that lower half really well. In his speed session, his last 20 balls that he posted were up in the 220s. And Scotty had to have been a PR at 225 or 226. So he's finding his second win. It looks like a lot of these guys are finding their second win. This ball, if this one stays in play, this one's going to be close. So Galladay is on the bubble. It looks like his 6 ball's OB. If Scotty Perman's ball stays in, they just put up an OB. There's going to be a playoff if Perman doesn't improve. So there's going to be a 3-man playoff between Jacob Galladay, Jake Hignite, and Maurice Allen.
All right, here we go. Second playoff of the day. These guys will have a little bit of time, collect themselves, get themselves together, and we will see who will advance to the next round here in Portland, Connecticut.
The new Bridgestone athletes to push the limits of distance. Thanks to extreme ball speed and superior aerodynamic flight. Engineered for you to hit your longest drive. Drive the new E9 Long Drive. Extreme distance for your game.
Introducing World Long Drive International memberships. World Long Drive welcomes all of their international affiliates as part of the World Long Drive family. With an international membership, our worldwide competitors now have the ability to compete in internationally sanctioned World Long Drive events, the ability to earn world ranking points, plus all of the great community membership benefits. Sign up for an international membership today at worldlongdrive.com. All pro memberships include the ability to compete in international World Long Drive sanctioned events. Learn more at worldlongdrive.com.
And we're back. We have a three-man playoff for the final spot in order to advance tomorrow. Maurice Allen, Jake Hignite, and Jacob Galladay. Jacob Galladay had the future in his hands, wind up placing third in the last round, which advanced him to be in this playoff right now.
Yeah, just right now, Galladay just needs to bump up that height on his golf ball, probably about 30 feet. He's hitting the ball well. He's just hitting it just a little too low. You know, Galladay is a guy that has great landing angles, and if this is a roll grid, his numbers would be different. You know, but right now, like, he has to make that change. He's plenty fast enough. It's just a matter of height. He's just got to hit the ball a little bit higher. That's something that Maurice is accustomed to doing. Maurice can hit a golf ball 200 feet in the air, you know, and we're just going to look at, like, let's take a peek. I'm not worried about Maurice's height. I'm just worried about ball speed. If he hits it in the center of the face, we've seen Maurice go 208, 209, 210. You know, Galladay can go 210. We already know that. Hignite's going to put a lot of balls in play as well. So, you know, here we go. Here's a three-man playoff. Maurice had a playoff in Memphis where he went up against Glenn Wilson and won, so he's been in this position before. Galladay with a ball right down the middle at 203. It's 120 feet in the air, so it's not that high. And
just a reminder for slot two, really look at the flight scope numbers. That's going to tell you more of a story of where his ball's going than the tracer.
So that said 328 carry from Galladay. Maurice Allen's first ball is OB, Hignite's OB, but Galladay in at 350. That's a really good number right now. Really good number for Galladay. Now, if I'm Galladay, I'm trying to climb the ladder. Climb the ladder, hit it higher.
Great number by Galladay.
So last ball from Maurice was 206. This one's at about 200. 148 in the air. His last ball was 150.
Jacob at 205.
Hignite's got a ball that's flirting down that left side, it looks like. A big high draw, but the carry is 334. So take a peek if you're looking at it right now on the screen at these carry distances.
And Jacob has a little bit of an advantage as he's hitting from the same slot that he just got done hitting with.
Yep.
But also another thing with Jacob is he's super efficient with his swing.
Yeah, he's got such a nice swing. Like I said, he's a golfer. He's got great hands, and you know, the problem is sometimes with guys that are golfers and they get into long drive, like even like Eddie Fernandez, they're going to be maybe +2, +3, +4 swinging up instead of like a +7, +8, +9.
Right.
So they kind of get into their golf. And look at Maurice Allen. And like say for
209.
me, 209.7. It really just comes down to height. And Galladay's last ball was higher. I really like the profile of that shot, but Maurice right now is at 209.7. And that's, you know, there's a reason why Maurice has won so many tournaments and he's a world champion. Like, he gets put in these positions and he knows what he needs to get done. And he doesn't even have to be 100% to win these things either. It's just, he just finds a way to win, and he'll never make an excuse either if he's not feeling good or what have you. And right now he's in the lead at 362.
I think the biggest thing is he knows what shot to hit for what event. And that comes because he's had a lot of experience. But here we are on the final balls.
Yeah.
Maurice Allen taking a big swing at it. Jake Hignite, I don't think that one's going to stay in. And Jacob Galladay staring it down. We'll wait for these final numbers to come in.
That one I like. Jacob got it up a little bit higher on that last ball, 206, 132, but Maurice was more in the 150. But, you know, a 209 ball, we said, like, you know, he 208 to 210, and Maurice stepped up in crunch time, and now here we go again, you know, where he's in these playoffs and he's getting another win.
Maurice is used to this, and he knows how to get it done when he needs to get it done. He's been an athlete on very many different levels. So he is advancing on. That means we're going to see another pair of shoes and a really great outfit coming out as he prepares for tomorrow.
Well, the field's set. Flynn sweeps, 1,000 points. Bryce Verplank, Scotty Perman, TJ Baker, Minachi Masawi, George Hegarty, Landon Gentry, and Maurice Allen will be in the round of 32. 24 guys have advanced, and now we have 16 more gentlemen going to hit here in a little bit, and we'll be down to 32 here in about 2 hours.
Maurice, you've been in this position several times. You always come out on the other side. Can you tell me what was going through your head as you prepared for this playoff?
Just really hit the ball well, focus on my sequencing. It's tough. I mean, guys are getting stronger, guys are getting faster. World Long Drive is definitely probably more difficult than it's ever been. So you just know you got to bring it. There's no such thing as an offset.
I think one thing you're really good at is being able to make the changes quick and knowing what shot you need to make for what event. When you came into this set and to this round, what did you know that you needed to do?
Pretty much stop fighting the wind, hit a little cut, let the wind carry it rather than hitting my traditional draw, which is pushing the ball down. So it was cool to get through. It's not one of those things where everybody says, oh, I didn't hit it the way I wanted to, or I didn't get through the way I wanted to. For me, getting through is exactly what I want to do. It doesn't matter how it looks. The more difficult it is to get there, that just means the more stuff I need to work on. I love getting the opportunity to see just how bad I can be, so that towards the end of the season, I'll be pretty set up the way I want to. So it means another outfit, another shoes, so that's a good thing.
We're always excited to have you advance because we do get to see the style, the energy. Good luck to tomorrow. Hope you enjoy your afternoon.
I appreciate it. AB in the building, man. Y'all give it up for Alexis Belton.
All right, we'll be back at 1:45 with the open division to see the senior division to see who will take the winner.
This is the grid that the Bombers call home.
You're throwing the tee in the ground. If your hand's not shaking, there's something wrong.
I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the game. I'm in my element, flow is like water, I'm forced to a fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth, following God and you grinding.